Hey family, Tacc man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Yeah, tell me something good. Oh man, I had a good day today, man. I had some good brothers from Philadelphia come visit me today. That was a blessing. We went to eat, little just little things like that mean a lot. But today we want to talk about facing your fears, facing your adversities, your shortcomings, being able to be truthful to yourself, not worrying about what anyone else thinks so that you can heal, being able to look in that mirror and be pleased with the other person that's looking back at you is. Life is a very serious thing when you get to a certain age you understand, but when you're younger it doesn't click. And I kind of understand it because I was young before too. And I know how I thought back in those times. So the thing is, learning and understanding that there's no rules to life. We may say there's rule, there is none. Because any rule that they make can be changed. So there's no rules. And you see how they play today. It's really no rules. So my thing is this right here. Why we have to be able to be 100% with ourselves, embrace our journeys, and understand that everybody can't be you, and everybody is not you. And when you see a people or a person acting a certain way or is a certain way, you just have to understand that that's where they are in their life. That doesn't mean that that's where you are in your life. Mm. And when you have that understanding, you have a clear understanding of life. You have a clear understanding of where you're supposed to be in life. And when you get to a place to where is you're able to be 1,000% honest with yourself, because one thing for sure, two things for certain. You can lie to people, but you cannot lie to God. God knows your truth before you even know your truth. So we can't be delusional and think that we can outsmart God, because that's not going to happen. It never will happen. The thing is being able to be truthful to yourself, even when you know it's wrong, whatever. Being able to accept that and know that that's part of life. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things that you're not supposed to do. We all do. It's just how life is, you know. And so you guys know what this platform is called. This is my book, Through Adversity Comes Change, by me, Rich Comer. And this is what this platform is about. There's 5 principles, 3 articles, one healer. The healer is helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. And this is what it's about. It's enough hate in the world that now we need to start loving, loving each other, being there for each other. But the only way we're going to do that is we have to heal first, and until we able to heal, it's not going to happen. It's just how it is. Now, check this out. The mirror of truth, while being 100% honest with yourself, is the only path to real healing. The face you avoid. There is a moment that comes in every life, sometimes in a quiet of 3 a.m., sometimes in the pause after a fight, sometimes in the ache of yet another broken promise you made to yourself. When you realize you have been lying, not necessarily to others, to yourself. Do you realize how sick you have to to be able to lie to yourself and believe it? That's a demented mind. But it's a lot of people like that. You have told yourself, I'm fine, when you are drowning. It doesn't hurt when it is carving scars into your soul. They did this to me when your own choices paved the road you're walking. Like I said, everything starts and ends right here with you. The choices that you make are the outcomes that you get. Simple. And the most dangerous lie of all, I like who I am, while secretly you can't stand the person you see in the mirror. So I said, you have to be able to look in that mirror and be content and happy with that person, no matter where they are in their life. That's not saying that you want to be perfect, but be able to be at peace with that person in that place where they are in their growth. Healing cannot begin where honesty ends. God did not design you to live split in two. One version you show the world, and another you hide even from yourself. Jesus said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Dig that. But he did not say the truth would be comfortable. He said it will set you free. And freedom starts in a mirror. This is why I said you have to be able to look in that mirror and not be afraid of the other person on the side of that mirror, because you should always be happy with who you see in the mirror. But I get it. And what a lot of people don't understand is that we've been conditioned this way. This is not our language. This is not our culture. This is not our heritage. This is not our name. And see, when you systematically destroy a person's culture, his language, his heritage, everything to belittle him. And after a while, he's going to feel that way because he's been told a bill of lies and he has to heal, but he has to understand the lies from the truth. And then and only then can anything happen. But let me go on. Check this out. Why pointing fingers keeps you in prison. Blame is intoxicating. For a moment, it feels like lighter than responsibility. When you point at your parent, your ex, your boss, your church, your bad luck, your genetics, your past for just a second, you are off the hook. And see, that's what I said. No longer this, always this now, because it starts and ends with you. Well, here's what no one tells you. Every finger you point towards leaves three fingers pointing back at you. Look, check that out. And it's just designed that way to keep us in check. Look at the hand when you accuse. Thumb, index, middle. curling back towards your chest. The very posture of blame is as a mission that the problem is not out there alone. It is in here too. This is not to say others have not wronged you. They have. Life has wounded you. That is real. But if you are waiting for them to change so you can heal, you will wait forever. If you are waiting for apology you deserve because you look at your own reflection, you will die still bleeding. God does not ask you to ignore what was done to you. He asks you to stop giving the people who hurt you the keys to your prison. And the only way to take those keys back is to say, from this moment forward, I own my feelings. I own my healing. I own my choices. I own my responses. Everything starts and ends with me. What I say, all of them right here, and it's a freeing when you're able to do that. Seriously, it's a freeing because you're able to be honest even when it may go against you. That's real. Everybody can't do that. To say, yeah, man, I messed up. It's pride. Pride is goes like my mother used to say, pride goes before the fall. But also, like God says, not an Adam's way to pride get into the paradise. So you have to let all that go. Now check this out. The hardest sentence you will ever say. There are three sentences that will change your life if you have the courage to speak them aloud to God, to yourself, and to one another, one to one other person you trust. Let me say that again. To God, yourself, and to one other person you trust. I am not who I want to be yet. That is not shame, that is honesty. You cannot arrive at a destination you refuse to admit you're not already at. I have contributed to my own pain, not the abuse done to me, not the betrayals, but your own poor choices. Like all I say, everything starts and ends with you. You put all the fingers right here. And the beautiful thing about it, when you're able to accept that responsibility, man, life is so much better. But your own poor choices, your own avoidance, your own fear, your own silence when you should have spoken, your own harshness when you should have been kind. Own it. It will not destroy you. It will be the solid ground you build on. And when I tell you, man, when you're able to let go and let God, man, it's a freeing that you can't describe because you say, man, look, man, your shoulders are bigger than mine. I can't take it. And that's when God steps in. Like I tell you, man, my life is beautiful, and I have nothing, So imagine when He blessed me, how it's going to be that much greater. Because now I know I don't have to live off a lot of everything. I don't need much. I'm by myself. And even if He chooses to give me a spouse somewhere down the line, I still don't need for so much. And I'm not looking for someone who wants a whole bunch of everything for nothing to show. I need a person that's going to help me build, you know, my foundation, my brand, you know, and keep it funky. But in time, alhamdulillah, 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 mm, alhamdulillah. But yeah, um, It's just a beautiful thing, man, when you're able to free yourself. I'm responsible for my healing, no matter who hurt me. This is not fair. Fairness is not coming, but freedom is available. And freedom requires you to stop being a victim and start being a survivor who chose to heal. So I tell you, we got to heal before we do anything. We can't do anything until we heal. And I don't make the rules, but this is what it is. These sentences feel like death to the ego, but the ego is not your friend. Your ego is the wall between you and the mirror. And what I always say about ego is easing God out. You got to keep God in all equations. What you see when you finally look, when you stop running, let me say it again. When you stop running from your own reflection, you will see three things. Brace yourself. First, you will see damage, scars, wounds, places you have been broken and never let heal properly. You will see choices you are ashamed of, words you wish you could have unsay, seasons you wasted. The signs will hurt. Do not look away. God is not scared of your damage. He is already there, sitting next to you in front of the mirror. Excuse me. Second, you will see a liar. You will see all the excuses you made, the blame you shifted, the times you told yourself you were fine when you were dying inside. Seeing this is not self hatred, it is the first honest breath you have taken in years. And honesty is the Holy Spirit's favorite atmosphere. Third, and this is the miracle, you will see someone God has never stopped loving, not the polished version, not having it all together version, the real messy, contradictory, falling, trying version. And when you see that God's love does not depend on your performance, you will finally be able to look at yourself and say, I'm work in progress and I'm worthy of that process. The mirror test, how you start today. Here's a practical discipline that would change your life. Do it for 30 days. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror, not to check your hair, to check your soul. Look yourself in the eyes and say, I am responsible for my life. I will not blame anyone else for where I am today. I will own my choices, learn from my failures, and forgive myself as God forgives me. The person I see in the mirror is the only person I can change. And starting today, I choose to become someone I am proud of. Say it even when you don't believe it, especially when you don't believe it. Truth spoken repeatedly becomes truth lived. And at night, ask yourself one question: where did I avoid the truth today? Do not punish yourself. Just notice. Awareness is the beginning of healing. One second, let me get a sip of this drink right quick. Mm. Oh, okay, y'all, I'm back. One second. All right, coming. Give me one second. Here we go. What happens when you stop pointing fingers? I used to be a professional pointer. Everything was someone else's fault. My childhood, my ex wife, my boss, my church. That hurt me. The friends who abandoned me. And I was drowning in bitterness, not because they were innocent, but because my pointing kept me from healing. Then one night, alone, I looked in the mirror and said, I am exhausted from blaming people who aren't in the room. And I realized everything starts and ends with me. As I always tell you, that my healing was not their responsibility. My happiness was not their job. My purpose was not waiting for their apology. It was waiting for my surrender. Check how deep that is. The day I took my fingers off everyone else's and pointed all 10 of them at myself, not in shame, but in ownership. My life changed, not overnight, but the dam broke, the lies crumbled, and I began to see in the mirror not a victim, but a man God was rebuilding. You are the one who has been waiting for. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to apologize perfectly. No one is coming to arrange your life so you never get hurt again. That is not pessimism. That is freedom. Just knowing that you have to do what you have to do. Because if not, because if no one is coming to save you, then you can rise with God's help, with the strength, but with your 2 feet on the ground, your eyes on the mirror, and your hand lifted in honesty. You want to heal, stop pointing. You want to be happy with the person in the mirror, stop pretending. You want to live free, own everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and handle it and hand it all to God. He is not afraid of your truth. He already knows it. He is just waiting for you to stop hiding so he can do what he does best, make all things new. And this is Psalm 139, 23, 24. It says, Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life. That's prayer is the mirror. Say it, mean it, and watch what God does next. Just think about that, you know? And it's about, life is a beautiful thing, man, when you look at it. And when you can be honest 100% with yourself and not even worry about what other people say, feel, and think, because the only one that really matters is God and you. So my thing is, it's doing the right thing, getting life right. And I promise you, man, life like gets a lot better, man. Trust me, man. You just gotta stay down. I'm finna go because I gotta make prayer. I like to make my prayers on time, but tomorrow's another day. I'll be back at you. Tac man out. Peace.